Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The premiere of the documentary film A Journey of the Empty Quarter is launched. Within the initiatives of promoting economic diversification, the project of scaffolds production and installation is inaugurated. And a trough of low pressure system will affect the Sultanate starting from today, Thursday, and will last for 3 days. Good evening and thank you for joining us live from the news center of the Sultanate of Oman. Here we present to you the detail of this news bulletin. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos bin Saeed has received a cable of thanks from Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland and head of the Commonwealth in reply to a cable of greetings sent by His Majesty the Sultan on the occasion of her birthday. His Majesty the Sultan has also sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency Moon Jae-in, President of South Korea, on the occasion of electing him as President of the Republic. A ceremony was held in Sohar Industrial Zone to mark the inauguration of the project of scaffolds production and installations within projects and initiatives of the program set for the promotion of economic diversification. The project has a production capacity of up to 400 tons per month in its first phase and will contribute in reducing the volume of importing scaffoldings used in constructions by 21%. It will also provide 130 job opportunities to national cadres. The inauguration was held under the auspices of His Excellency Dr. Mohammed bin Hamad Al-Rumhi, Minister of Oil and Gas. The latest weather analysis of the National Multiple Hazards and Early Warning Center shows a trough of low pressure area which will affect the Sultanate starting from today, Thursday, and lasting for 3 coming days. It is expected to affect the governorates of North Al-Sharqiyya, South Al-Sharqiyya, Al-Dakhiliyya, South Al-Batina and Muscat during afternoon and evening, with rain, occasionally thunder showers associated with hail and fresh downdraft wind causing blowing dust. It will also affect the governorates of Dhofar, Al-Wusta, Al-Dhahira, Al-Buraymi, North Al-Batina and Musandam with isolated thunder showers. Sea state will be moderate to rough along Arabian Sea coast with a maximum wave height of 2.5 meters and slight to moderate along the rest of Oman's coasts with a maximum wave height of 1.5 meters. The Public Authority for Civil Aviation advises all to follow the weather bulletins and take precautions regarding wadis and flash floods and make sure of sea state before sailing. The Committee of Social Communication Network Study held a meeting in the headquarters of the Advisory Board of the Supreme Council in Muscat. The meeting aims at preparing the board's draft of the mandate decision issued by the GCC leaders at the 37th Summit in Bahrain. The meeting was presided over by His Excellency Dr. Abdullah Yusuf Talib, Bahrain's representatives in the Advisory Board of the Supreme Council. Setting up strategies for environment awareness based on scientific perspective was the most important recommendations of Oman Environment Forum at the end of its sessions. The event, organized by Environment Preservation Office at Diwan of Royal Court and Al-Ru'ya newspaper, also called for conducting a national survey for all national strategies and plans to identify their compliance with the aims of sustainable development. It also recommended holding this forum on annual basis with the participation of environmental specialists from inside and outside the Sultanate. A ceremony was held today to mark the premiere of A Journey of the Empty Quarter documentary film under the auspices of His Highness Sayyid Haytham bin Tariq Al Saeed, Minister of Heritage and Culture. More details in the following report.
The premiere of the documentary film A Journey of the Empty Quarter was launched. The launching ceremony was held under the auspices of His Highness Sayyid Haytham bin Tariq Al Said, Minister of Heritage and Culture. The film tells the story of two Omanis and a Briton who journeyed 1,300 kilometers on foot and camels across the Antiquator Desert. This journey commemorates the first documented crossing of the Antiquator Desert in 1930 by Omani traveller Sheikh Saleh bin Khalud and Briton Bertram Thomas, unprecedented achievement that made headlines all over the world then. The film records the challenges faced by Muhammad al-Zijali, Amr al-Wahabi and Mark Evans as they follow in the footsteps of Sheikh Saleh bin Khalud and Bertram Thomas. Lasting over 70 minutes, the film shows the team was able to overcome challenges during the 49-day journey from Salalah in Dhofar through Saudi Arabia to Doha. This is the first time in 85 years that the historic journey had been recreated in its entirety. The film has spectacular views of the Antiquator, which has never been photographed before. The film is scheduled to be screened at Vox Cinema at Muscat City Centre in Asib on May 18th and will be shown to pupils in September after the summer break.
It is indeed very encouraging to see youth taking interest in this kind of journeys. Still to come in our news bulletin. After touring several Islamic cities, the International Chinese Photography Exhibition arrives in Muscat. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. In pursuit of instilling the love of Holy Quran in its comprehension, the Ministry of Education honored its students from different public and private educational institutions as well as directorates in the Sultanate within the framework of the annual ceremony of the Holy Quran competition. The 44th edition of the competition witnessed remarkable participation. With the participation of 6,523 students, the 12th edition of the competition titled Rattil Wartaqi for this year was concluded. The concluding ceremony took place in Sultan Qaboos University among a significant attendance by parents of the students and those interested. The ceremony was held under the auspices of His Excellency Dr. Fuad bin Ja'far al-Sajwani, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth. Oman oil price for July delivery rose by $1 and 54 cents compared to yesterday's price, which amounted to $48.26. Dubai Mercantile Exchange stated that Oman oil increased as to reach $49.80. The average price of Oman oil for May delivery declined to reach $51.71 compared to its price last April. After touring several Islamic cities depicting their features from various angles, the International Chinese Photography Exhibition arrived in Muscat. The organizers stressed that selected Oman, it is connected with China with a deep-rooted historical ties and joint Islamic culture that date back to old ages, as Omani merchants contributed to conveying the message of Islam through their good morals and dealings with Chinese people. The exhibition contains more than 150 artistic works from 50 Islamic countries. These photos reflect the Islamic culture in many countries in Asia, Africa, Europe and America. The exhibition is open for visitors for the next 5 days. In order to boost the creative capabilities of Excel students in fine arts, an exhibition showcasing various fine arts paintings was opened at the premises of the Ministry of Education. The exhibition, which is organized by the Directorate General of Education in the Governorate of North Sharqiya, portrayed the students' talents in the field of drawing, painting and arts. And now to the international news. Syrian Kurdish-led forces said they were carrying out landmine clearing operations in and around the country's largest dam, the Tabqa Dam, and its nearby town a day after they seized it from the Daesh group militants. Video footage released today showed the Syrian Democratic Forces SDF stationed around the area. The fighters are Kurdish-led but also include some Arab fighters. The town of Taqba with the dam was the latest Daesh stronghold to fall to the SDF as they advanced towards Raqqa, the seat of the militant so-called Caliphate along the Euphrates River. The fall of the Tabqa leaves no other major urban settlements on the road to Raqqa, about 25 miles away. Another 129 Japanese peacekeepers left South Sudan today as part of the process of Japan pulling out all its soldiers from the country. The transfer is the third such pullout after 115 peacekeepers left earlier this month and 68 peacekeepers in an earlier initial pullout. Japan made a decision to end its peacekeeping mission in troubled South Sudan in March of this year. Their 350-person team there had focused on road construction over the last 5 years. The team was Japan's first with an expanded mandate to use force if necessary to protect civilians and UN staff. Japanese military involvement overseas is highly fraught. At home, the use of military force is limited by the post-World War II constitution. Prime Minister Abe had promised that he would resign should any of the team in Sudan be killed. Serbian authorities said that they have moved most of the migrants who were staying in parks and abandoned warehouses in downtown Belgrade to asylum centers. The government's refugee agency said today that several hundred migrants have been transported by buses to the asylum centers outside the capital. Aid workers at the scene said a few hundred people fled to avoid leaving the city. Many had been staying in directly warehouses with no facilities near Belgrade, the bus station, highlighting the plight of people fleeing war and poverty in hopes of a better life in the West. Bulldozers were seen today clearing up the warehouses that are now empty of people. Some 7,000 migrants remain stranded in Serbia as they seek ways to cross the heavily guarded borders of neighboring European Union countries, Hungary or Croatia. Future relations between Ireland and Britain, including how the border between Ireland and Northern Ireland would work with the UK outside the European Union, have emerged as a key problem to be addressed during the Brexit talks. People living in the coastal communities on either side of the Carlingford Lough, where the boundary between Republic of Ireland and the UK exists, both on land and in water, had a keen interest in hearing Europe's stance on what with Irish border will look like after the Brexit. The European Union chief Brexit negotiator has reassured Ireland that the bloc will fight to ensure there is no return to a hard border with Northern Ireland when the UK leaves the bloc. The UK and Irish governments have repeatedly said they do not want a return to customs posts at the border. The European Union negotiator negotiating guidelines stated that issues relating to the Irish border will have to be resolved in the first phase of its talks with the United Kingdom. And here is a clip on general weather forecast. This is the Sultanate of Oman television, and now before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The premiere of the documentary film Journey of the Empty Quarter is launched. Within the initiatives of promoting economic diversification, the project of scaffolds production and installation is inaugurated. And a trough of low-pressure system will affect the Sultanate starting from today, Thursday, and will last for 3 days. And with that, we do conclude this news bulletin. From the entire news team, we thank you for joining us, and be safe, and make sure to check Weather Bulletin. Thank you for joining us.